This is the most inhuman design in history. Looks like a submarine. It's actually a manned torpedo. Once launched, the death rate of the drivers inside is as high as 100%. He is the Japanese Apocrypha torpedo, although he has a hatch on it. There's a hatch at the bottom. In fact, when the driver enters, then the door lock will be automatically welded. Whether the mission is successful or not, the pilots had no chance of survival. Although the entire torpedo has
The floor is so long.
the actual warhead is only an eighth of his body. The rest is mainly occupied by oxygen tanks. This oxygen is not driver breathing, but as propellant for torpedoes. There are also 8 compressed air tanks on top of the oxygen tank, used to steer torpedoes. And that little space in the middle is the cockpit. Torpedoes are usually placed on the deck of submarines. If necessary, the driver will dedicated access on submarines to torpedoes. It's not just narrow. Even all operating devices, all very rudimentary, except for this autopilot. The turn of the torpedo and the rotation of the forward-looking mirror. It's all done with old rocker handles. There is also a tie rod at the top. A light pull activates the torpedo. Once he gets off the submarine, cut off contact with the submarine. However, to reach the goal, pilots have to learn to hold their breath. Due to the accumulation of waste in the cockpit, gives him breathing difficulties. Fortunately, a can of peroxide is usually put in it. Sprinkle it out from time to time, and your breathing will be much smoother. The driver uses the forward-looking mirror to observe the direction. Once the target is found, just rushed over with a suicide attack. It's a very harmful and self-serving thing. Once they used up 9 of these torpedoes, just blew up into a cruise ship. The ones that are left are basically unlaunched. It was smashed by the other party together with the submarine. As the saying goes, if there is Wolong, there must be Japan
Phoenix
has an
chicks.
even crazier invention. They put wetsuits on. Bring a 5-meter-long bamboo pole with a samurai mine strapped to it. Just hide under the water and stab the old American warship to increase lethality. The mine in front of the bamboo pole is very loaded. Once detonated, diver route. Chance to live. What they do is they put them in the water. The warship also invented a weapon on the ground. Designed to stock up on tanks maybe. Anti-tank guns are too expensive. This kind of thunder requires only 3 nails. It's much cheaper. Just get close to the tank. Guarantee a high secondary weight rate. The power of its explosion. It is said to be able to penetrate 15 centimeters of Nearly steel 20 plate. iPhones fell that thick. Such high lethality. It's hard for a blaster holding a self-thunder not to die. Since these bizarre weapons, there's sea and land. The sky is naturally indispensable. They didn't forget to put the cockpit of the missile home. Then bring a driver who is not afraid of death. Just set off. There's no missile. There's no landing gear. If you fly out, don't think about coming back in one piece. The goal is to cut off the pilot. All hope of survival. Relying on hand launch. It's got a short range, only 36 kilometers. The entire missile is only 6 meters long, 60 centimeters wide. Rely on manual guidance. It has a simple 3-stage structure. In the front is a huge warhead, made of hard alloy steel. Can be detonated by fighter jets. It can also be detonated manually by the pilot. We have 3 rocket engines strapped to our tail, encapsulating fuel with high-temperature resistant materials. However, this is also a one-time. After ignition, the flame cannot be turned until the fuel runs out. Each engine only lasts about 10 seconds. To increase the itinerary, the 3 engines do not start at the same time. They fly by relay. When one runs out of fuel, it will glide for a while. Then it's up to the driver to decide start time of the next engine. And the last engine is saved for last. Until I saw the old American warship, the driver will start. He rushed up as fast as he could. At the same time, under the action of impact, embed the hedge and warhead into the ship. I have to say he is very lethal. But riding a missile to his death. All the Showa boys were shaking with fear. Hard to hit in real combat. Goal. The overall record in World War II is not very outstanding.